Today, on another note.
So in China, they are leading the world actually in solar power usage.
Today our local highlight is Our Creation by Sandra Penn.
If your lover or prospective lover finds out that they have an incurable STD, would you stick around?
That might result in some fatalities. Understanding the importance of identifying an STD, a sexually transmitted infection. You have to make sure you understand that sexually transmitted infections can come in different forms.
We're actually gonna try the most famous champagne in the world,
What?
which is Wolf Clicquot.
We are back. We are back. We are boom.
I kinda.
Okay, you lost
I kill it. Like, oh no. I thought I was killing the beatboxing. Apparently, it wasn't going so well.
I was feeling you though.
You were feeling me. That's what I'm talking about. You always got your girl. Always got your girl. Got your girl. Got your girl.
You started, but you went way back.
Kevin said I kill a vibe. But welcome back. If you are like us, you in that beatboxing mood, yeah, taking everything a little old school for you today. Morena. I don't. Is that the
really
word?
I know that was.
You know what? We're gonna do this the traditional way. Welcome back to On Another Note. We're not your average talk show, which is why you're watching. We're so glad to have you with us. Stay tuned, stay locked, and listen to this. How was your week, guys?
It was fantastic. You could tell I'm still wearing my energy.
I had a good week. Not too much work, not too much relaxation. Perfect.
Good, yeah. I think same thing here for me. What about you?
Had a lot of gin.
A lot of gin.
A lot of gin.
Gin and coconut
Your
water.
week was turn up.
That's all the
Yep.
time.
It's probably a tough week.
That was gin-tastic.
I like that one. That was Gin-tastic.
Gin-tastic, yeah.
Talking about gin and things in bottles that are reusable and recyclable. I want to talk about, you know how there's this whole big, everyone is trying to be eco-friendly and be environmentally friendly in a way where we have sustainable energy and we have a lot of sustainable, a more sustainable lifestyle in general. So in China, they are leading the world actually in solar power usage. So they have more areas within China where they're run off of solar power completely.
We need some of that.
But get this, with all of that technology and the solar power usage, they are not able to really harness the amount of energy that they want to because it's so polluted. They can't get the sun rays because the pollution is blocking. All that smog is blocking and they're not able to use it. And then I started thinking, because I saw an article a few weeks ago, I think it was either in June or July, that said in BVI, there are some thoughts to have the solar power plant in Cox Heat, which is close to our incinerator.
One location.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, did you see this? You guys saw this article? Did you see it? So it got me thinking, because I was like, initially I said, oh, that's a great idea. It's nice and flat.
It would be a waste.
You know, after I saw your topic, I'm just in my mind, I kind of rethought. I even posted it on my Facebook page, like, Lord, this is my prayer for my country. And then I saw your message, I was like, hey.
Hold on that prayer, Jesus. I'll be right back. No, seriously. So, and that's what got me thinking, because I had seen the article about China having issues harnessing energy before the article that we put out as a territory talking about potential spots for solar power plants. And it makes sense, people. If we can't control pollution, we can't get energy.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. And we have no control over what's going on down at Paco Pond. I feel like they just go around in circles with the discussions. There must be some kind of solution.
I think there is a solution, but it's just what it is might be the difficult part. And the thing that concerns me when I read the article recently, well, not so recent, but in July for sure, in St. Croix, they've been battling same type of issues like us. They've been battling issues with the Anguilla landfill for the USVI. So they've had fires, sporadic fires, like we've had sporadic fires. They've been battling that. And guess what? We are all within the same region. So you know what's happening? The smog and the smoke from them, plus our smog and smoke, plus, so all of that is creating a very polluted environment, because we only think about BVI when we think about pollution. We don't think about our neighbors in St. John, St. Thomas, St. Croix. It is very close, people.
And that's
and
why
if we want to be
always complains
about the smoke from Packwood Pond affecting their residents.
Yes, it's always a complaint.
And this is, and I wanted to highlight it because if we're thinking about becoming sustainable and we're talking about all of these aspects, what are the negative effects? Pollution is affecting the way we have energy.
Well, that's one of the things that it's doing. I actually use solar energy. Not sure if any of you do it. I have this light outside of my house. Solar, all solar, so I don't have to pay for that current.
Amen.
But at night, it's one of those when at night it lights up, and if you come closer to it, it gets even brighter. So in the day, the sun will charge it, I guess. And I really like that. I think that's something that we can invest. Some of the streets, they're still really dark. And I got it in St. Thomas. I actually bought the big lampposts in St. Thomas. They can actually
When you say lamppost, you mean
it looks like a lamppost.
like you use it outdoors? Like
Yes, I have it outside in the yard because it was really dark.
Clarence Thomas used to sell some of those. And
They
I think
probably did.
Infinite Solution has not a lamppost version, but they have a lot of solar powered lights.
Yeah, they're like
so I have a lot of them in my yard, like Brie. I have them to like illuminate the yard so that when you drive in, they pop on in the evening time and they don't require any wiring or.
We can actually invest. Well, the government can actually invest in some of those to put on the streets where it's really dark at night.
We used to have it before Irma. The street lights were all solar powered, and then Irma took them away.
Yes, we need them back.
So getting those back would be good, but none of that matters if we can't control pollution.
Exactly.
So we can have these conversations all we want, but if we're not dealing with pollution in the region, not just in Tortola,
So what is the key to deal with
collectively, it has to be a collective conversation.
I do feel that this is, I mean, we don't need to try to reinvent the wheel. I feel that in the BVI, a lot of times when we have issues, we need to be humble enough and understand that other people have had the same issue and they've solved it. For example, I was watching something, I think it is in Singapore, where they too do incinerating, but they have a filter where it cleans the air to release before it gets
That's the solution.
So in my mind, what are we discussing? We, all politicians and whomever involved, make heavy travels all the time, travel to the appropriate place. I mean, we are seeing it on social media, we're seeing it openly. Why are we attempting to reinvent the wheel? And we talk about other persons investing in the country and so on, but at this point, you have to make a decision. Are you going to have somebody invest in the incinerator and creating a better lifestyle for all, something more sustainable for our children? Because this is something that we need to look forward to in terms of the pollution.
And we have to address it now. I want to read a snippet from the article where I got this from. It says, and this is in an attempt for China's government to try to minimize the impacts of pollution. Because what they started to do, what they realized from 1990, I think it was, to 2016, they had been doing some research, and what they realized was that because of the pollution over all of those years, the radiation was not reaching the ground in the manner that it should to power up all of these solar panels that they have everywhere. So here's what the researchers that they then hired to figure out said. The researchers also found that measures taken by the government over the recent years to reduce air pollution has had a small impact on diminishing solar radiation. They describe it as a minor reversal for 2010 to 2015, because during those years, they aggressively started a campaign to reduce pollution. And the researchers are saying it didn't help. It was not helpful. So we have to stop it before we get to prevention is better than a cure. So, you know, you can be like China, you can have the most robust solar system, be the most robust solar territory in all of the globe, and the sun can't get to your solar panels.
And I think we're setting up for that, indeed. And like I said, it was like a reality check when I saw this topic, because I was like, it makes so much sense. It's right in the area where we can't control anything at this time.
Yeah.
And all of those random fires, I genuinely feel is thermite, you know, when rust and metal, rust and aluminum meet, it makes a thermite, it makes an
almost like an accelerant.
Like an ignition, and it actually is something that's consistently burning. It's just sometimes it ignites and you can see the flame, but all we're doing is starting a problem that it's gonna be hell to fix, because remember when that fire happened? All now, so it's still steaming. If you dig deep enough, that thermite is still active down there at Cox Heat. So
yeah, I definitely wanted to bring that to our attention, because a lot of times we think about pollution and we always start with the harms to the human body, which are, I'm not minimizing them, they are equally as important. But I also want you to understand that there are other repercussions to our pollutive habits.
To include acid rain.
No, seriously. I mean,
we're talking about solar energy, but I'm just saying that it can go that far if we don't get that thing controlled, you know, in terms of disposing our waste.
Yeah, so I really think it's something that we need to think about. I mean, I've got 3 kids. Everyone here has children. So because we have the future in our homes, we have to start making better decisions to control pollution in an event to accelerate the territory. We're all hopeful that the future BVI is going to be an innovative BVI, a greener BVI, a smarter BVI. It can't be any of that if it's polluted. So with that note, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Today our local highlight is Our Creation by Sandra Penn.
If your lover or prospective lover finds out that they have an incurable STD, would you stick around?
That might result in some fatalities. Understanding the importance of identifying an STD, a sexually transmitted infection. You have to make sure you understand that sexually transmitted infections can come in different forms.
We're actually gonna try the most famous champagne in the world, which is Veuve Clicquot.
Creative Arts Branding Specialist specializes in visual communication through branding. With over a decade of experience and service, Creative Arts Branding Specialist is the trendsetter in the graphic and printing industry. Our talented branding specialists provide a multifaceted approach to various design concepts, resulting in customized products and services to ensure customer satisfaction. For quality, professional, and durable products such as acrylic signs, backdrops, banners, billboard designs, custom apparel, custom designs, decals and stickers, logos, posters and flyers, electric and lighted signs, window and glass application, and so much more. Visit us at Sugar Mill Road or call us on 284-542-2731 or email us at creativearts@gmail.com. That's CRE8TIVE artsbvi@gmail.com.
At Horizon Catering, we deliver the highest quality food, innovative presentations, and professional services. We know how important catering is to your event, so we cut no corners to ensure a satisfying and memorable event. We can turn your next event from the ordinary to the extraordinary. For the highest quality food, innovative presentations, and professional services, call Horizon Catering at 284-499-2132 or 499-2142.
Welcome back, guys, and today our local highlight is Our Creation by Sandra Penn. And I actually really like this one, as she goes really in depth to why she created this company, Our Creation. And I'll give you guys a little in depth on how she explains her company.
Okay.
And this company has been around for approximately 2 years now. And the reason behind Sandra creating Our Creation is because she said, you know, for most people the name is sound simple, but for her it carries really significant and it's unique to her because it's derived as a representation of her children and her grandchildren's name.
Okay.
So all of that, with the art creation, it pulls back to the legacy that she has built throughout the years. She's all about coming up with different arrangement, creative styles, and she has a real passion for what she's doing. And in terms of what she's doing, Sandra, she makes gift baskets, balloon arrangements. If you have something for Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day,
gifts.
Yes.
she offers all of that. And she said art creation allowed her to put all her energy and time into something that she loved doing. And she said she gets a joy when she sees people smile and her customers are happy with what she's doing. She said whether it's celebrating, like I said before, a birthday, or Mother's Day, or Father's Day, the occasion brings great joy, and it fills her heart to see that she's doing something passionate and people are being appreciative of what she's doing.
So, I like that.
So if anyone out there has a birthday, a special occasion that's coming up, guys, please contact Sandra. You can WhatsApp her at 786-200-0560, or you can WhatsApp her at 786-253-2208. If you don't have WhatsApp and you want to send her email, you can send her email at sandrapemberton64@gmail.com. That's sandrapemberton64@gmail.com.
I think that's awesome.
And we all here have kids.
Yeah.
We're all, well, you guys are all mothers, we have fathers, and we all have some kind of occasion that's going on, and we always look to someone to do
create these
events
baskets and gifts.
You know, and it's good that there's someone that's actually passionate about what she's doing. She's not just doing it for
doing it
for making
I
money
love
and
it.
stuff like that. She
I
actually,
think I saw it on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she has a Facebook page, but I've definitely seen it on Instagram.
and the significance behind the name, you know, she's like she said, she's doing it for her children.
Yeah,
and
her kids.
grandchildren.
I love that. I
And
love
that's
the fact
where the
that's a
art creation
legacy.
came from,
Yeah.
you know, it's a whole thing behind of that. So
I love it. Sandra, shout out to you. And again, here we have, this just makes me so happy. We have another localpreneur who is, who has started a business post Irma and is doing so well. I have seen some of the baskets.
Yes, me too.
I didn't know she used to do the balloon stuff. So if you're looking for arrangements for any gifts, especially if you are in an office setting and you want to have like office gifts to give out to your colleagues, or you want to send a Mother's Day or a birthday gift, or you just want to tell someone thank you, it's a perfect place to try. So definitely contact r.creations, Art Creations.
and don't forget me and Bree birthday's coming up.
Yes.
So, guys. Once again, the WhatsApp is 786-200-0560.
I like that one.
We're taking gifts for our birthdays.
We gotta get it together,
September's
Joe.
right there.
We'll think about that.
think about
We'll
it.
see. We're going to have to contact Santa early to see where you lie on this list. Is it naughty, nice? Where are they? We're going to check. And you know what? I'm going to go call Santa right now. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to be right back.
If your lover or prospective lover finds out that they have an incurable STD, would you stick around?
That might result in some fatalities. Understanding the importance of identifying an STD, a sexually transmitted infection. You have to make sure you understand that sexually transmitted infections can come in different forms.
We're actually gonna try the most famous champagne in the world,
What?
which is Veuve Clicquot.
Your office space is a reflection of your company brand. That's why at KDL Designs, our clients are the inspiration for every space we design. In addition to our exceptional architectural work, KDL Designs offers clean, innovative, and functional interior design for both private and public sector businesses. A KDL design expert will work with you to choose the right colors, lighting, floor layouts, fittings, and fixtures that will enhance all aspects of your space, giving you a modern workspace built for productivity. And with our impressive selection of furniture, flooring, glass, and steel rails, you're sure to achieve that wow factor at the most reasonable price. To learn more, visit kdldesigns.com or call us for a consultation today at 284-545-9999. 9933. KDL Designs, where dreams are housed.
And we are back. Listen, sometimes I wish you could come behind the scenes. I keep saying that. One of these days, we're gonna actually show you behind the scenes so that you could see what happens. We have a bunch of people staring at us all the time, including the cameras. We get a lot of really good food, Can you smell it?
A lot of crap.
It's like barbecue chicken. Oh my goodness. Okay, I wanted to talk about a little bit about how lovely we all look today.
Hello.
Dr. Shaq?
Dr. Shaq is wearing, once again, a girl called Rose.
Three different pieces. Ooh.
3 times in a row. It's a charm, okay? This is truffle.
Hello.
And I'm feeling myself all the time. I mean, when I come here in truffle, you know the difference because I'm feeling myself.
It's legit.
That's the word. I didn't want to use it, because I didn't want to punish or anything.
That's so funny. What I love about this piece is this is a wrap dress, and wrap dresses are back. Do you remember when they were in some years and years ago? I don't like wrap dresses, but they are back because you have to have a body for wrap dresses. You either need to be a certain height for it to fit you properly, have a certain level of hips. They don't go well on everybody. Okay, well, they don't look that great on me. Let me just put it out there. But I love to see them. So I absolutely love the color blocking on one side. I like the mix up with the prints. Truffle, you doing your thing, Kristen. We loving these pieces.
Kristen is
love
amazing.
these pieces. Talking about wrap dresses, I'm gonna skip on over to Umi Bree.
Yes. The florals are on
Earrings.
Those earrings are the bomb. They really are.
I mean, but look at how the earring go with all of the blue flowers.
I picked them up myself. Give me some props. But yes, this dress is very comfortable and is very stretchy. I love comfortable clothing, and I just always love bracelet matching. You know, the color pop, these bright colors.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Prints are in, you will notice. Yes. Prints are definitely in. So whether it's stripes, whether it's bright colors, prints are in. And wrap dresses, get you a few wrap dresses. If you want to be funky with some of this, you can pop a top underneath this that has some sleeves. Yeah. You could dress it up, dress it down. And these things, you wrap them around, they look great. But let's just talk about what Kevin is wearing, because I actually, can we see the design on this? Where's our cameraman? I want you to see the design on this. I love this. It says So Royal Entertainment. And I think this is a local artist.
Yes, it's a local artist, Revelation.
Yes. You gotta love that conscious vibe to know Revelation, I'm telling you. Yeah, I absolutely love this. So I love this line. So this is one of his lines?
Yes.
I tell you, you're a walking billboard.
Is this his logo?
This is his logo and his
for the company.
Yes, his entertainment label.
And Kev looks so nice in bling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the glitter.
Trying the whole bling thing.
I really like this. I love the black on the red with the dazzle. I really like this. I really like this. And listen, you know you ain't really a virgin island unless you have your Gucci and your Louis. That's what them say. That's what them say. So Kev, make sure he put on his Gucci before he come here today so he can represent for the VI. Your mark safe. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. I'm wearing, as usual, local clothing. So my pants, I told you guys where I always get my pants from. So I get these from Sunshine. And then the top is from Glamorous Fashion. So definitely.
I'm loving the top for sure.
Yeah. So let me give you guys a little behind the scenes secret. So we're dressing in the dressing room, right? And I've changed the way the top should be worn about 3 times.
3 times.
So Bree goes, you changed that again? The shirt's supposed to do all of that? I'm like, we will see. We will see. So definitely, when you're buying clothes, make sure it's versatile. You'll see me in this again and you won't even notice. You won't notice.
Okay?
Okay? You have got to. Men can't do it. We feel so sorry. No. We will know when you wear this again.
Not really, no, because there were so many black tees.
Exactly.
You don't really get to.
Tell them, Bree.
We're going to see. We're going to see this one. We're going to see this one. We're going to remember that world blinging. We will see this one. So I absolutely love that. Shout out to all our sponsors, Umi, Truffle, everyone who has been sponsoring us. We love it. And behind the scenes today, we have a lot of really good food, guys. I wish you could eat this stuff.
On set.
You know what? Maybe we may have on another note, meet and greet. My producer will kill me for saying that. So on that note, we're gonna head on over to the hot topic.
Yes, the hot topic. It's always hot. Like I'm hot right now.
Well, Kev has been hot for the past few minutes, so he's been sweating.
He knows what this topic's about, obviously. Come on.
Okay, well, this one goes like this. If your lover or prospective lover finds out that they have an incurable STD, would you stick around?
No.
He said no so quick. You
didn't even think about it.
Oh, sorry. Finish it.
Would you still keep dating them, knowing that they found out about this and they tell you like, okay, I
openly.
need to, yes. How would you feel? You've already spent time. You've invested your time. You've gotten to feel.
Let's think about it this way. You have been with this person, say, like 5 years. That's a lot of time, you know.
Yeah.
No,
well,
5 years. No,
that's a lot.
That might result in some fatalities. 5 years, and then the person doesn't tell you for 5 years.
No, maybe they only just found out. Maybe they only just found out.
Okay, if they just find out, because if it's 5 years, most likely you have it too.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying. Fatality is about to happen at that point.
If you do have it, should you just stay together and be happy with the STD since you both have it?
Lord Jesus.
Or would you just be like, no, you give it to me?
Someone that you just met?
Let's start with someone that you're dating. Let's start with that.
Like recently,
like Virgin
dating?
Islands dating, because there's two versions of dating.
Okay, let's start with
the one that I promote and the Virgin Islands version. Is it VI dating?
Which dating is it?
It's the normal VI dating.
No, let's start with
dating,
real dating.
So no interaction.
None. Let's start with that.
Okay.
And you found that out.
American dating.
They're telling you.
No, I am not gonna say.
Okay, I think that's the time you run away. No, I don't think that's the time to run away. We could be friends. Angel, he's right.
Why would you?
But he's right. This is the time when you.
Yes. Okay, now let's say you have already been in bed with this person, and then a couple months later you find out they have it.
This is why I plug in with my infomercial, ladies and gentlemen. I really implore you to wait until you are married to have sex, because before you get married,
you think you can get an STD when you're married?
You're going to do all of these tests in advance. So before you get in the bed, you will know all these various statuses.
I wish it was that easy.
Infomercial over.
I know, right?
I wish it was that easy.
I know, right?
If you find out after, I think the first step should be obviously to test yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which that would be my first step.
Now. Mm-hmm.
If I come back clean,
you leaving.
I clean in everything that I had in that relationship. My God.
I don't give
you were cold-blooded. My mind is changing about how nice Kevin is.
It's a few months, so we still in that early stage.
Because if you guys never had that before, where does this STD just come from?
No, but I feel like disclosure. It's like the person is telling you, I always had this.
But that was Dr. Shaq.
Because
she had it all along, and she tell you, and she wait until I get in bed to come and tell you
which
this.
Which is why the first part of the relationship.
Well, because look at it. If she had tell you from day one, you would have
left already.
But she getting the same result again.
Yo, Kevin is legit mad right now.
I mean,
isn't that like a crime?
It is. It actually is
a crime.
Because to think about it, how can you have? Okay, what if it's years? If you have an STD, clearly someone had to give it to you, and most likely I have it.
And if
well, maybe not necessarily that you have it.
If you don't have it, where it come from?
Okay, because now if we're talking about couple years, things are changing. You're already in love with this person.
Exactly.
Couple years, you're gonna start asking where the infidelity occurred.
That's what I'm saying.
Couple of years, this is not even relevant, because I mean at the end, well actually it is. Think about it, like the fact that somebody might have, they have an incurable STD, but they know when, and they're hiding from their partner. But at the end of the day, communication is everything. So I feel that whether it's months or years, you and that individual have to sit And so some of them, you have to just accept the consequences.
So
some people might just say, I'm out. Somebody else might say, okay, let's talk about this a little bit more. So it's communication, and it has to do with the two individuals.
I want to circumvent the conversation, because I saw this. You know how sometimes Facebook have these like news stories?
Yes.
I don't know if they're all true or non-true, but I saw an article where this African couple, they were married, they had a child already, and I think it was either 2 or 3 years into the marriage, she was diagnosed with HIV, AIDS, full-blown AIDS. He didn't have it, and the child didn't have it. But apparently it was something that was like perhaps
well, it's not sexually. It doesn't have to be sexually.
Sub-level. So from her old relationship, she contracted it.
Yeah.
But she did not know, nor did it show up on anything immediately.
But so that situation different.
So now you're married, you have a child.
How does that different? That situation.
It's the same.
To me, it's the same.
She didn't know. She didn't know. That
so now when she found out and she said to her husband, people were saying he should have left her, blah, blah, because he got lucky. He didn't get it. And he said, no, the doctors taught them how to be safe and still be intimate.
Yes.
He has to do these tests every
I don't know if I'm safe and intimate. Doctor, if it's an STD, that S, it has to be sexually, right?
Yes.
So if it happens in a few years in our relationship, you had to cheat on me.
Hello.
So
that's what I'm saying.
HIV could be blood, some kind of like, it don't have to be the cheating. It could be something else.
I want to say that a lot of times, sometimes persons would have contracted the virus, but the viral load is like so low that your immune system, that means you just have a very good, robust immune system.
Yes.
And so you probably wouldn't test positive, which is why when you suspect that you are at risk of getting or contracting HIV, you test now and then you go back and you test 3 months later, even though your initial test might have told you it's negative. So at the end of the day, I mean, it has to do with the immune system at that point where she she would have contracted it before. The next thing to know is that not every single, I'm not telling this, the disclaimer is I'm not telling anybody to go out there and have unprotected sex because you have a chance of not catching it. But I'm just saying that there are some times where it's not necessarily every single individual. If you have HIV and the person you have sex with, sometimes not every single person will be able to contract the virus. You guys know that, right? So it's not saying that you take the risk. Just tell yourself that you are at risk of getting it with unprotected sex. But I'm just saying that's why her husband probably didn't have it at all.
And the article I read, it kind of was, people were saying, because she had come out to talk about the fact that she was AIDS positive and that she'd been living with it for X amount of time. So people started scrutinizing the whole family. Oh, you know, the husband this and he lost his job and all this stuff. And he came out afterward to talk about it and say, well, actually, I'm fine. The kid that we have is fine. Our child doesn't have it. I don't have it.
So
we're not sure.
Is his tolerance just high? Why he hasn't really
some persons who
shown as yet?
There's a rare percent of the population who just can't contract it. I mean, that's just, you know that statistically, but we don't talk about
we all pray. Is that in my DNA?
That's the point. You see what happened here? We don't talk about that because then your behavior will become delinquent. You become... You understand? You're gonna just get into risky.
We start assuming, I definitely have super DNA.
So, for example, let's talk about the epidemic that's happening in Atlanta, Georgia, right now. Do you guys know that? I mean, per capita within Atlanta, I think Atlanta and New York are the highest. America talk about third world countries having the most. An epidemic with HIV and AIDS is happening live right now in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, literally.
This is the reality.
The news have really, helped. Medical professions are really trying to sound that alarm that, okay, we have a problem. But societies are going, we heard this before, we're good. So people are trying to downplay it. But it literally is a problem to the point where they're raising that alarm.
Exactly, and it's not just the HIV epidemic, the AIDS. So at the end of the day,
we have a lot of locals that live in
But that's the whole point.
And this is why we need to have
a lot of
Caribbean people.
And that could easily be contracted and
anywhere before you know.
And I want to say too, like a lot of those persons who are going through this epidemic now in Atlanta, a lot of those guys would have had, or guys, women, whatever, they would have had contracted the virus years before, 3, 4, 5 years before, because if you come in and being diagnosed at AIDS, that means you've had it years already. So, I mean, that negligence is something. They didn't get tested. Some of them did get tested and it was negative repeatedly, and then they present with AIDS almost near death.
All right.
So at the end of the day,
I think,
So the next lady in my life, that's it. She's stuck with me.
But I think this is a really good place where we say it is so important that we are, how should I say it, that we are responsible for our own bodies, and that we are honest with the people that we are intimate with. And I know how difficult it is because our culture doesn't teach the conversation. In some other cultures, they tell you to have the conversation. You know, you want to make sure that if he doesn't want to do it separately, go together is always a better route. Let's both go and get tested for all levels of STDs. Because if you want to be intimate with me, I want to make sure that I am protected and that you are protected. So let's do this, which is why I think it's so important to teach our young people the truth about what, how to carry your bodies. Because
and I mean, I even think about it like I mean, I met my husband, but at the end of the day, the first thing is let's get tested. Okay, this is a conversation. It should be casual before you even get into a relationship, but you are interested in each other, you're interested in getting into a relationship. You have to be.
He should expect that. He should have expected that.
You're having them drinks, you really.
And then at the end of the day, after the drinks, then you have a sorry story.
Okay, we get tested.
Okay, very well.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day,
but it's not even about getting tested in that moment. It's about being responsible for your body.
Well,
so when we start making this conversation number one, even when you're drunk at the bar, you're saying to yourself, why she don't get in her butt?
yes.
Not tonight, Sandra. Not that Sandra. Not Sandra. Not tonight, Joanna Moline. I don't know. But you start having those, and your level of recluse and restraint becomes higher.
Exactly.
Your tolerance for not wanting to be promiscuous then lowers, because you understand that your body requires you to be responsible.
As you say, your body is your temple.
Your body is your temple.
And at the end of the day, when we are in this society, we know worldwide, STDs are, well, not worldwide, but in particular locations, subsets, STDs are on the rise. So let it be a conversation that is not embarrassing. It should be casual. If you and that person have communicated your intentions to be together, I do feel like make it a dating exercise. Let's go get tested. It's easy. You don't have to do it together.
We can.
Of course we can. I told you I did it to my husband. I was like,
we can. I think it's an important. I think it's an important thing to do.
It's important,
and it's important for us to understand that it's not a negative, because unfortunately we look at it in a bad way. Oh, you want me to get tested? Do you think I got something? We look at it so negatively, and it's not a bad thing.
Jump up,
it's not a bad thing.
It's a mature
but no,
conversation.
if you have been responsible enough with your own body, when somebody asks you, you don't get offended.
Exactly.
You're okay to do the test. You're okay to go in, because you already know your status.
And here what? It goes back to
how much you got?
Exactly. No.
And it goes back to Bree's question, because guess what? That is an icebreaker for answering what Bree presented to us today. When she said, you're in a relationship, but you now need to reveal to that person that you've had something before. But if you make STD a part of the conversation in the beginning, you say, hey, so I know you like me, but so how willing are you to, let's just do an STD test. I've done it already, but I'll do it together with you, and you probably have done it together, but we're just going to do it in exchange tests. At that time, that person will then say, let's have a serious conversation. You see how the environment will change because then that person will feel like, okay, this person is serious about me. And if that individual is serious about the other person, they will actually say, yes, I agree, but I want to tell you something. If they feel like they're fearful because something they have to say about the situation, then they will say, you know what? Ain't that serious. It was supposed to just be a one night stand, but you're getting too serious. And men and women shouldn't be shameful about having that experience. And that actually sends me into my...
But before you go into your hell note, I think those are 2 tests that people need to take. Take your girlfriend to the pool or to the beach so you could see if she's really beautiful, men. That's test number 1. And test number 2...
No makeup.
Test number 2, because the men keep complaining that we wear all this makeup and we don't look like our real selves, and our hair, the salons, and our eyelashes. So take them to the pool. That's number 1, guys. These are tips for you. Write this down. And number 2, definitely do your testing. Dr. Shaq?
Yes, and I mean, that brings us to my health note, because that conversation is leading us up to understanding the importance of identifying an STD, a sexually transmitted infection. Now, a lot of times, persons feel that sexually transmitted infection means penis and vagina. No, it means mouth, it means anus. I said something. I said vagina. So,
why would you say it again? We feel uncomfortable. We are all uncomfortable right now.
Let's get the discomfort out. Let's all say penis.
Happiness.
So, sexually y'all just
listen to that like really good. Listen.
Do you realize how uncomfortable we all got?
Let's see what I have to deal with on a daily every time we have a show. But anyway, at the end of the day, I just wanted to say that sexually transmitted infections does not mean penis and vagina. It means any part of your body you use as a sexual instrument. It just so happens that the mucosal area, these are the areas that don't feel this way. They're softer. They don't have the hard protective shell kind of. They're more so you're inside of the mouth, inside of the vagina, the anus. And so at the end of the day, you have to, and the penis, of course, you have to make sure you understand that sexually transmitted infections can come in different forms. Okay? So I like to present the whole condom idea first, because when you hear it, you gotta think about STD, you're thinking about wrap it up. Because at the end of the day, STDs are still in style, okay? Don't act like it.
No, they're rising.
Because at the end of the day, people don't really focus on it anymore. How many times you hear about this? When I was younger, I used to hear STD on the radio a million times. I used to see my nurses and doctors on the street talking about testing and being careful with STD. There used to actually be more STD handouts. I don't see them anymore.
There used to be jars that looked bigger than this with condoms. And pick up the condoms and
you remember those days when there were condom jars at stores?
Yeah, I remember that part.
So I dislike the fact that we have strayed from that. So our healthcare system has to get itself revived a little bit. But that's why I say it's still in style, because we're not talking about it, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. And it's actually on the rise. So let's talk about the condom concept. We always say, make sure you use protective sex when you're actually whether you're having a monogamous relationship that you're not sure there's any commitment there, or you're having multiple partners, use a condom. But I want to present something to you. If after you put on that condom, you still have a genital wart on top where the condom fits, because you don't wear a condom brief, right?
True.
I don't know.
Okay, where the condom goes onto the penis, you actually stuff your testes into a condom? No. So you have to think about it.
Unsure.
Do they have condoms that cover the test?
No, gel.
I'm just checking. I don't know. I'm just trying to see if they come up with a all-inclusive condom.
No, we haven't gotten to that stage, but you can definitely have that creative genius whenever you're ready.
I'm going to invent that.
What which I'm trying to point out is that you still have areas exposed. So if you, an individual, have an STD, let's say it's genital warts, you have bumps on the scrotum. Don't Scott.
think
This is
not.
an everyday thing, right?
I couldn't be a doctor.
We're so uncomfortable right now.
I couldn't be a doctor.
Why are you sweating though? I don't understand. I'm not talking about you.
Sweating. This is
But
so
anyway.
uncomfortable for us. Go ahead,
You
Doc.
have unknown suspicious bumps on your testes. You have unknown suspicious bumps in the areas where you have hair. We call that the Mons area. This is on top of the penis, but not the shaft. And you put on a condom, you should not consider yourself marked safe. You are not
Don't
safe.
put up the flag.
The condom is not
Because
safe.
the
Don't put up the flag.
condom.
Don't put a flag in.
So the question is, does a condom prevent you from getting HPV, genital
No.
warts?
It doesn't.
It's relative, because if you have it on the shaft, then the condom is protecting. But who's to say when you have it on the shaft that you don't have it on your scrotum? Once you know you have an STD, don't have sex. Okay? It doesn't matter.
Say that
if you,
again. Say that again.
Once you know you have an STD, do not have sex before.
Look in the camera. Say it again. Say it again. No, I think this is important. I think it's important. Say it to the camera.
Making me sweat today. So once you know you have an STD, do not have sex. The next step after figuring out that something suspicious is happening to that area is to get it checked by your doctor.
Yeah.
Go to your physician. At that point, that physician can determine for you what is happening and help you find solutions. Okay? That's one of the types of sexually transmitted infections that condoms don't necessarily prevent you from getting. The next one is herpes simplex virus. You can have a genital wart. Usually herpes simplex viruses, they're not genital wart, genital ulcer, genital sore, sorry. And those sores are tender. Compared to something like syphilis, you can have a genital sore, but it doesn't cause pain. You touch it and it's asensitive. It doesn't feel like anything. However, a herpes type sore, it's very hypersensitive, very painful, sometimes itch, sometimes burn. It gives you multiple type symptoms in the same area, just because it's more. Pardon?
A woman wouldn't see that?
It's not about woman. Yes.
Hopefully she talks about
inside
inspection.
of. But you think she goes inside of her vagina to check?
No, I'm saying if an individual has those things, do a woman not? What does she do? Just blindly just.
But I'm just asking you, how well can she see inside of her vagina? If she,
these are things inside of her vagina?
It can happen there too. My point
But
is,
even if it's outside, you have sex
even if
in the night.
Dark places. You're not saying. You're not saying. I'm sorry, sweetie. Open up real quick. Let me just make sure that what's happening here is okay.
Yeah, remember the time when
I have to check it out first.
So you're gonna be like,
inspections are good.
No.
But remember that episode I said you gotta. Do you eat in the dark? You eat your food in the dark. When you're ready to eat, you turn on the light, right? You don't eat in the dark.
I sometimes eat in the dark. I'm weird.
So if I present you with a plate of food, even though you know me, you will still eat my food in the dark?
I have a habit of smelling.
That's okay.
So you feel
you will still eat the thing I call chicken
I'm so
and rice?
uncomfortable. I'm not marked safe right now.
Let's move on.
I'm so uncomfortable.
Look at what.
I'm not sure if we're talking about food or other stuff. I don't know what we eating.
Yeah.
But I don't want, sorry, Kevin, you cannot ask me to check.
If we're in a moment,
you don't have to.
If we're in a moment,
You kill my whole moment.
I check it first.
Can you imagine? Kevin's
I go
going.
down first.
Yeah, baby, I love you. This gonna be good. Listen, do me a 5-second favor. Open it for me real
No,
quick.
what I'm saying,
Listen to the
what I'm
trick.
saying is, before we start anything, once we're in the mood, I go down first to
Part
see
of the
what's going on
foreplay.
here.
Part of the
I go
foreplay.
down here.
I like turn the lights on and it's
Yeah, I
part
want to
of
see
the
what's going on.
I would
foreplay.
welcome you then.
Yeah, I want to see what's going on.
So you're not
And you
gonna.
guys say no, cause we done in the mood.
Done there.
And when you're down there trying to
And
hit that
I
penis on your
down
face
and
or
see-
whatever. Oh my gosh,
I
you
don't
look.
I don't like
You look.
No, but seriously, but you need to do that. Serious.
But you should.
Anyway, let's get back to wrapping it up.
Sorry.
So at the end of, not wrapping it up literally on the show. Keeping it wrapped up. So,
Stay tuned. Don't go. We're not done.
so the thing is, when you have like that, I was telling you about the two different, or not, well, two of a few types of sores that could be there. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily happen in that convenient area that the condom covers. Again, it goes back to you taking your health as your responsibility. Health is wealth, and also you have to take responsibility for the person you love or want to sleep with. So this is why when you made a comment about when I'm by the bar, that's the part that actually causes the STDs to rise, because you're thinking about your own sexual desires when you know you have something that looks unusual on your scrotum, but she wouldn't check because it's the heat of the moment. Both of you are drunk. Right? So at the end of the day, just knowing that condoms do not protect every single STD. Now, the next set that you're thinking about, let's say, fine, you can have syphilis, right? Do you know that syphilis, while it's gone unchecked, let's say it's a sore there that you didn't check on, it didn't hurt you anyway, it just stays there, it's just annoying. It's like, I just deal with it. And then all of a sudden you notice you get this generalized rash. Syphilis can give you systemic things. Syphilis can actually cause you to get holes in your heart. What? It can cause dilation of the big vessels inside of your...
How can people just see something and just... You do nothing?
But you don't know what it was?
Some people underestimate it.
So that's why you have to be vigilant to...
Some people underestimate it. But in those areas, you should be vigilant.
Especially in those areas?
And you should be concerned.
Especially in those areas. So you don't want to, for syphilis, you don't want to miss that sore, because at the end of the day, when you miss that sore, you can get now systemic changes. There's something called even tabes dorsalis. That means because syphilis messes with your nerves. So you ever see a drunken man walk? He walks with his legs wide. It's because his sensory system is impacted, and syphilis can permanently do that to your nervous system. So what I'm saying is we need to take STDs seriously, okay? Outside of the two I mentioned HPV, which is the warts, and herpes. There are other ways now you can have differences in discharge. So this is the more common ones that people talk about, which is the claps of gonorrhea, chlamydia. Also, there's another one called bacterial vaginosis. Okay, so these are changes and differences in your discharge. So as a man, you don't have a discharge usually, but now when you actually bathing, doing your urination and so on, you can milk your penis and stuff comes out. So the last point I want to make is the fact that when you notice that, let's say a friend might even present themselves to you, hey, I got something I'm concerned about. Let them lower their threshold to check. Check first. Don't use that penis or whatever part, vagina, anus, mouth. Don't use it until you understand what is happening to you. And usually when you go to check for one, we check for all. Because we have a rule of thumb. It's not the best thing, just that. No. With STDs, it comes in the rules of two.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's new to me.
That's very new to me.
Yeah. So when there's one, we just make sure you're clear for all. And at the same time, for me, specifically, I think all of my other colleagues too, when we do that and we're checking also for the HIV, we let you know at that point, we need you to return
one question.
at 3 months.
Just one question before you're done.
Yes.
How do you check for STDs? Is it just a blood test?
It is a blood test and a urine test and a physical examination.
Okay.
Somebody is...
Oh, yeah, you can get up in there. I have to see.
I won't need them blood tests before.
I have to see.
What do you know when you're doing your pap
What
smear?
are you looking?
When you're doing... Well, you know, you will actually see changes if there's something there. Your doc, whoever is doing your pap smear, they will know stuff that are actually obvious. Sometimes they tell you, hey, you have a discharge, it's up at your cervix, and then they will check it and so on. But sometimes you're not at the point where you're getting a pap smear. But when it's necessary, we do have to do a speculum exam. Sometimes we do a high vaginal swab. We use a long swab and go up there and check the discharge. So we usually, not everybody would get that. You just look at the client that's presenting before you. You do the blood test, which usually we check for syphilis at that time. We check for herpes simplex. We check for HIV. The gonorrhea and chlamydia, they have urine testing for those, so you also have to pass a little bit of urine as well. So at the end of the day, just know STDs, still in style. Okay? Nobody's talking about it, but it's on a rise.
It really is.
So understand that if there's something abnormal happening to your genital regions, that includes mouth, anus, penis, vagina, check it out before trying to use it.
Yeah, I think it's important, guys. I know, this was an uncomfortable conversation to have, but it is an important conversation for you to have because we want to make sure that our BVI includes health and wellness for everyone. So if you know that you are sexually active and you've seen something that concerns you, you don't need to talk to a friend about it. We suggest that you go and you see a doctor. Even if you don't have anything wrong at the moment, we suggest that you find your status out. We're going to take a commercial break, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
We're actually going to try the most famous champagne in the world.
What?
Which is Veuve Clicquot.
Advertise It BVI specializes in visual advertisement, specifically outdoor marketing and graphic designing, strategically located to attract motorists and pedestrians alike. At Advertise It BVI, we've been proudly serving the British Virgin Islands for over a decade, providing competitive pricing and customer satisfaction. When you advertise with Advertise It BVI, you never have to compromise on quality. With 9 locations throughout the British Virgin Islands, 18 billboard advertising opportunities. Contact Advertise It BVI Media Specialist today for all your visual advertising needs at 284-499-6969 or email us at advertiseitbvi@gmail.com. Visit our website at www.advertiseitbvi.com.
At Blossoms, our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, or super yacht. You can also find a wide variety of silk and dried flower designs, fresh cut flowers, local flowers, tropical blooms, fruit and gourmet baskets, chocolates, balloons, both helium and air-filled, various gift items, and an assortment of plush animals. With a floral experience spanning over 28 years, we have earned a reputation for excellence both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
And we are back with the flavor segment. So we've been, over the last 2 or 3 segments, we have been doing some testing of what I would consider to be exclusive products. Some products you haven't seen quite out in the market yet, or you've seen them but you haven't heard that much about it. So it gives you an opportunity to hear a little bit more about it. And we have not just BVI's, but the Caribbean liquor boss with us. So he is going to give us some information. He's our wine connoisseur. He is our...
He knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff, people. Like, seriously, I'm telling you, he's a Caribbean's liquor boss. So let's get down to it. What do you have for us today?
We're actually going to try the most famous champagne in the world.
What?
Which is Veuve Clicquot. So what Veuve did over the course of years, they saw a segment of the Caribbean. So this was actually made specifically for the Caribbean. Because they found the trend that in the Caribbean, most Caribbean people like sweet.
I do.
So they came up with this creative champagne that's called Veuve Clicquot Rich. It has more of a sweet notation to it. Now, if you drink it without, and it's made to drink over ice. So the ice and the coldness actually release a lot more of the sweet notes. If you drink it without the ice, you get a different flavor profile than when you drink it with the ice. So it's a good champagne that's made for pools and parties and stuff like that. That's the whole creation of it, was just like a Sunday friends are over, you guys are by the pool chilling. That's why they came up with this creation for the Caribbean.
And I love the fact, I wish you could zoom in, but we'll put up a picture on our page so you could look at it. On the detailing of the design on the bottle, there are sailing anchors. So I love that it has that Caribbean flair and to
so
it.
I'll go ahead and pour some for you guys so you can.
Where is this from?
Fizzes.
So it's actually from France, where and in order to get the name Champagne, it has to be made in the region called Champagne, which is Champagne.
Okay.
So that's the only way that you can call
Something a champagne.
something a champagne. So you have a lot of different stuff
Didn't
that are
know
called.
that.
So the difference
I didn't know
between
that either.
sparkling wine and champagne is actually the same thing in a sense.
Just different.
But champagne is made in Champagne. So that's why they call it champagne, because that's where the grapes and everything come from.
Okay,
It's champagne. You're not allowed to call it, so that's why you have stuff from California, they call it sparkling wine.
Yes,
Because they're not allowed to call it champagne because it wasn't made in
I never knew
champagne.
Oh,
It's the
that's
same thing
awesome.
for like cognac. And that's what you call like stuff like Hennessy, Courvoisier, you call them cognacs because they're made in that region called cognac. You cannot call anything outside of that.
Wow. See, look how we get some education. So this is perfect. So when do you recommend we use this? You were talking about social events. It was made specifically for Caribbean people and our palate.
And like I said, it's more of a social drink. It's not your classic Veuve Clicquot drink where you have at dinner and stuff like that.
So is this the one that you would also pop when you're having a celebratory event?
Yes, weddings.
Okay, good.
Big parties.
I'm ready
Like I
to
said,
taste.
this is their fun area. The brand was always very serious.
So let's see what we think. So you're saying that this was made specifically to go over ice.
Yes.
Let's see.
It's not as sweet as I thought, but it's nice.
So if you try like regular champagne, it's really dry.
Quite like this.
And that's with this one you get a lot more sweet connotations. And this is really good when you have like fruits, cucumbers, like cherries, raspberries, and stuff like that. You can garnish this that way. So it's really, I like it. It's an easy drinking champagne. If you don't like champagne and you want to get into expanding your palate, this is where you start.
This is better than champagne.
And then you will ease your way slowly into champagne because your palate will start getting used to some of the distinct tastes
within there
of champagne.
So if you've had champagne before and you drink this, you understand the difference. Because champagne has that bitterness to it. You almost taste like all of the leaves that they probably use to make that. In this one,
this is better.
You get that, but a different
contour. It's the entry. Like I said, it's a fun. This is where they play around to try and get new consumers into the brand.
Okay. So you get into this. You already get accustomed to the palettes and the different
and
flavors.
Then you can slowly branched into actually
getting
normal
into
champagne. Because you're like I said, your notes will already be used to it. So it's just like wine, if you're not a wine drinker, let's say red wine, you're not gonna drink a Cab because that's very full body. So they give you either like a red blend or Pinot Noir. You will continue drinking those, and then you slowly move up the ladder, whether it's a Merlot and then a Shiraz, and then you'll finally get to that Cab level. But you can't just go straight to that level.
So I'll tell you something very superficial that I absolutely love about this. I think this is the perfect party, house gathering, house dinner, corporate type of champagne because it already comes with a look. It has that celebratory look to it. It has that bit of sweetness to it already. You don't need anything else to go along with this. The way it tastes, you don't need to have anything else to go with it. Yeah, this is just, so I think this will be really good at your next event. So definitely hit up Caribbean Cellars. That's the one place that we suggest that you go and get this. Do you guys have this exclusively?
No, it's around the market as well in different stores or retail stores and Brightway supermarkets and stuff like that. So
perfect. And
find it in there.
The great thing to remember about this is actually made specifically for the Caribbean region. Yes. So drink up.
That's why it's with ice.
Exactly.
There
you go.
Yes. To keep it cool.
We like everything on ice.
Everything. It's so true.
We like everything on ice, even water.
Literally everything. But I like the fact that they've Veuve I've never been able to pronounce it. So tell us the right way to
Veuve
say
Clicquot?
it. Veuve Clicquot.
Yes.
Yes, that's very
So it's actually a lady, Madame Clicquot.
Madame Clicquot. Ah, Veuve Clicquot.
The name is so
So, yes. Veuve Clicquot.
I know, right?
Because like I said, it was one of those things where they tussle for a while because, you know, the name comes with such rich history and they're like, well, when certain people in the organization wasn't sure in branching out and doing something like this because obviously at the standard that this champagne carries for many years. But now they're actually reaping the benefit of actually going outside the box.
Yeah.
And they've got like really, really great reviews.
I think this is a good move. I mean, just even in general, that this is a good move. Outside of it being for our region, which we love, which we absolutely love. We get to brag about that. You know, I'm probably going to buy these and gift them just because it's for our region. Outside of that, I like that they've added something a little bit sweet.
Yeah.
I like that this is that.
Exactly.
It makes
my
it
favorite
pool
part.
party,
And it makes you
beach
look good,
fun, sailing. I mean, I get
You
that.
can go out and drink champagne and look cool
Yeah.
and not worry about the taste.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good for millennials who want to come up and look cool and, hey, I'm popping a bottle of champagne.
Yeah. Listen, Veuve, I'm going to suggest that you guys come out with new champagne glasses because if you want us to put this on ice, some little thing ain't going to work out. So make a new champagne glass. We are out on the eastern end of the island this time around. We're getting ready to leave you guys in a hurry because guess what? We're at a private residence and we are being treated like kings and queens. And you smell that in the air. So I don't know, guys. I think this is the point where we wrap up. It has been good. Peace, adios, arrivederci, boom, cliche. We gonna eat. We'll see you next time on another note. Bye.
Come, let's go, people, let's go.